Hello, Waldrop's here, McGill's here. Did Mike do guitar stuff? A little bit. I did a little bit of guitar stuff. I'm going to do a little bit more guitar stuff tonight. It sucks when you're working on 3 guitars at the same time. You don't know what to... And you're filming some of it and like trying to keep track of files and stuff. So yeah, it is... Looks like he's been getting the radius on the fretboard done. That's tonight. Tonight we are going to radius the fretboard of this guy, but not entirely because I can't find my nuts. I don't know where I have put my nuts, and therefore I can't finalize the shape of this guitar because I can't reference it to the nut like I'm going to need to be able to do. But we can get it started. We can get the radius begun. Get it close to where it needs to be. I can't find your nuts. I blame all the beer. That was the joke. What is that? The video has 60 likes already? Sweet! No, it does not. Absolutely does not. I've got 6 over on my end. Oh, but I did do on the other one, I did actually get it cut down to its actual shape on the walnut purple heart maple guy. Is cut not flush trimmed and sanded and things, but it's cut down to its final shape. Finally. I can't do the neck pocket. One of those, one of those things where it's like you just don't quite have the right thing and you don't want to use the wrong thing and just maybe mess it up. I need a top bearing, bottom bearing, the one that's not this one. A shorty. I need a 1/2 inch. I need one like this, but I need it with the bearing down here because I only have a 1 inch flush cut dealie, 1/2 inch diameter, 1 inch height. This guy, and I need a shorty. I went to go route the angle on the neck pocket to match the angle that we put on the top of the body last week, and realized that this is too big, and I was like, oh, I got a shorty in the router table. No, I don't, because the bearing's on the wrong side of that one. So maybe I go pick that up tomorrow or the next day or whenever to get the neck pocket angled for the neck. Reshape the nut to how you radius the neck. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the idea, but in terms of like the depth of the fretboard, the thickness of the fretboard needs to be low enough that I can profile the nut to the radius of the fretboard. We'll get it started. We'll get the shaping started on the fretboard. That's more than we do sometimes. Cut me some slack. And then I might just go get a guitar and play for a bit tonight because I kind of feel like it. Missed band practice this week. And cut it short the week before. And I kind of feel like playing a little bit right now. We'll see how I feel later, but right now I kind of feel like I might strum a little bit. We'll have a few bevies. Oh, where are my bourbon drinkers? Where are my bourbon drinkers at? I know there's a few bourbon drinkers here on the show, and I always say, like, I don't have any bourbon. I don't even think I have anything in the whiskey cabinet. And it's actually been quite some time since I have done the bourbon. I have enjoyed bourbon in the past at various times in my life, but it's been quite some time. So when I was at the store getting my beer for the show, I went over to the whiskey section. And I may just join you guys for a bourbon in a little bit. We'll see. We shall see. Finished the GGBO neck today. Is that the walnut? Is that the walnut telly thin line dealy that you're doing for GGBO? Or is it the quilty maple dyed thing? Which, by the way, you're welcome. We were troubleshooting the dye problem that Paul was having last week, and it turned out that I was correct, that he had been oversanding before applying his dye, so it was not absorbing as deep and richly as he had liked. Did you know that real bourbon is only bourbon in Bourbon County, Kentucky? We've had that discussion, yeah. Liquor before beer in the clear. Beer before liquor, never sicker. Nah. Well, I don't have anything going on tomorrow. I would be remiss if I didn't just take a quick moment to thank the men and women of the various military service organizations around the world for their service and their sacrifice. Today is Remembrance Day here in Canada. I believe it's also, you guys have the same day in the States. What do you guys call it? Veterans Day in the States? So that we can have the opportunity to do this kind of bullshit nonsense on the internet. Broke the cardinal sin, came here to learn. Well, you didn't come here to learn. You accidentally learned while you were here. That's different. That's different, Paul. You can accidentally learn here. Just don't come here for that purpose. It's fine to come here and accidentally learn. I come here and learn all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the reason I do the show, is to come here to learn. I learn from you guys. No, that's not why I do the show. It happens fairly frequently, though. It did vastly improve the body of that. It did take a lot more blue, didn't it? It looks awesome. My Finnish guy is going to teach me to spray on that body. You have a Finnish guy? That's cool. Bought an HVLP spray rig today. Man, I love that you're just like, yep, gonna buy a thing. Bought a thing. Did you get like a turbine? What'd you get? A Fuji turbine? Knowing Paul, he got the Fuji Q5. No, he wouldn't have done something ridiculous like that. Hey, man. I wanted to ask, do the miter bars fit in your table saw from the Wedge Pro? I have not done any more experimenting past what we did last week with the unboxing. Do they not fit in your table saw? I haven't even checked. I would hope they do. They're standard miter slots. If they don't fit in yours, what kind of table saw do you have that doesn't have? You'll have to cut them down? Oh, he did say that in the video, the setup video. He said something about if you don't have a standard. Let's look. Oh, you might. You're right. I'm gonna have to take a couple of passes off these dealies. That one's closer. That one's just gonna be maybe a plain pass on the side that doesn't have brass coming through. It's just a plain pass on this one. I think will probably get me there on this one because it goes in at this end. I could actually probably like pound that down and get that one in. This one's not going in. Come on. There's a hole in the produce bag, Sean. Why did you send me a produce bag makes me laugh. It does the trick. Way closer than yours. We don't have plastic bags in here. Yeah, we're having trouble getting. Well, I think it's good, but I also hate it. Now I have to buy plastic bags for like my kitchen garbage bin and my bathroom garbage bins and stuff. Like I don't know that I'm going to use any less plastic now that I can't get a plastic grocery store bag, because I'm just going to have to go buy plastic garbage bags now to use in my kitchen and in my bathroom. Like, people shop in stores still. I do. Yeah, I'm not fancy pants getting my groceries delivered, Sean. No, sorry, Matt. Made some out of apatong. Made some what? Plastic bags? We have cloth bag. We have some like they're probably still plastic, but it's like a weave plastic. The reusable shopping bags, but they just say in that like they come in the house with the groceries one time and then they don't make it back out to the truck, and so the next time it's like, well, shit, and then the groceries just all get thrown on the seat, and I was like, I'll go get bags in the house when I get home to bring it in, and then I don't, and then it's like 7 trips into the house, and yeah, the old man shakes fist at cloud. It's fine. Keep on keeping on. That's your biggest problem. You're doing okay. Really, in the grand scheme of things. Man, a video stream is bad today. May or may not not be my end. I don't know. There's nothing different than any other time on my end. We did have a storm last night that took down some poles, but they're not internet poles. They're power poles around town. Yeah. If you don't have to deal with it. Is it just the video or is it the audio and everything? Maybe it's you guys. Maybe it's Maybelline. YouTube detecting my ad blocker. That's right. They're making it fuzzy. They have picked up on your workaround and they're like, we'll get him. And they code something like this. That's why I did this, because that was YouTube guy doing coding. The video is poor quality. The video quality or the content itself. I mean, I can go ask the fam if they're like everybody's on two various devices at the same time, and now I'm trying to do a stream, but it's no different than it ever would be. There's lots of times where they're both running. There's a Netflix and a Disney and a Fortnite and a TikTok all happening in the same time in the house. So it's cleaning up. I don't think the phone enjoyed looking at the miter bars. Maybe. Who can tell? The produce bag was that, yeah, it was like, seriously, this is the quality of content that this guy's creating on this platform. He's got shit in a produce bag from the grocery store and he's talking about how it doesn't fit in his thing. Like, that's stupid. Down convert. Probably the wrong term. How is everybody's week? How is everybody doing? I want to check in once in a while with you guys and see how things are. Like, are you guys okay? Sometimes I'm not okay. And I like it when somebody says, like, hey, are you okay? And I can be honest. I can be like, no. No, I'm not. There was a day, 2 days earlier this week where I was not okay. And it is, I mean, we're all allowed to have days that we're not okay. But, yeah. I swear when I was hunting for your email reply, I was scrolling around 15 emails from Rob Cosman. I had to unsubscribe from him. It's because Rob Cosman wants to sell you things. So he's going to email you information about trying to sell you things. Better now. Finished week long on call yesterday. Now I'm free for 3.5 months. Wow. The hell are you going to do with yourself? 3.5 months. That's crazy talk. Why is this open? What would I do with myself if I had 3.5 months? I'd do a lot of sleeping. That's what I'd do. I slept pretty good this week, actually. There's like back-to-back days. Yes, last night and the night before. I slept right through from when my head hit the pillow till my alarm went off in the morning, which is not a usual occurrence. 2 nights in a row. I slept. It was probably like 9.5 hours both nights. It's awesome. Build guitars, stuff for wifey and crib. Oh, right, you're working on a crib. thought we decided as a team that you were just going to tell them to go to damn IKEA for that, because that is not a valuable use of your time. Didn't we? Pinnell, roll back the tape. Didn't we decide as a team that Paul should not make a crib? I'm pretty sure that's a thing that happened. IKEA isn't a valuable use of your time. Just order it from somewhere then. Don't spend a ton of time to make a crib that the person who's using it isn't going to appreciate it at all, ever. And the person who puts that person in it is only going to do that for like 6 months or something. It's a bad use of time. We decided as a team, Paul, can't go against the team decision. We talked it out. We discussed it in depth and decided that no, you should not make a crib. This one's sticking. My daughter wants me to use cherry, and I never use cherry for anything. You can buy a cherry one then. Or does she know does she know wood? Because you could just use anything and say like, oh yeah, no, it's cherry. Don't lie about the wood that you use in the thing. But we decided, Paul, as a team. No, she doesn't. There we go. You order a maple one, and then birch. Order whatever, and then if you need to slap a quick coat of something on it to make it reddish, she'll never know. It'll be cherry. Like a sand maple to 150 and color it cherry. See? But you can color it what degree of cherry. Cherry's going to change over time. Hopefully she doesn't look that up. Make the cherry crib if that's what you want to do with your life. Who am I to judge? But we did decide as a team. There's a reason we have these discussions, Paul. Tim remembers the old crib conversation. We did decide not to make a temporary use item like a crib. Yes. Yeah. You were even here, Paul. You were in on that discussion. But he's got 3.5 months to do whatever the hell he wants to do. So, if he wants to waste his time on something like that, who are we to tell him not to? Well, we should still tell him not to. But make the baby something they will appreciate, like a guitar or a PlayStation. Make the baby a set of mini hand planes. You make mini hand planes. Make a little baby set of hand planes for the baby. Something he'll get some use out of. Baby's first workbench, Pinnell says. This is perfect. A little mini workbench. And it'll encourage the baby to get up on its feet and get to work. Pull itself up by its bootstraps. Get making. Tried to turn the mammoth tusk today. Smelled awful and wound up shattering. Boo. We knew it was going to smell awful. Sucks that it shattered, though. Unless it gets handed off to another new parent Where did they go? My mom kept my metal crib in her garage. It's still in there. We had our crib for Sven was a convertible crib that went from crib into toddler bed. So it extended the use of it. And then once he was done with toddler bed, we repurposed it into an art desk. We just basically like it went from crib down to toddler bed and then back up to like art desk thing with little bins and stuff that hung around the outside. It was we got some use out of it. We made it last as long as it could. And I want to say even then, I think we got 4 years worth of use out of it. Got enough left to make a bottle stopper out of it. Might send it to you so you can share the odor. Oh, thanks. I mean, sure. If you don't want to, if you've had enough nonsense of it, then yeah, aren't you putting me together a Christmas pack of some kind and throw it in there? I'll be like, yeah, thanks for the thing that's gonna make my shop smell like shit. Well, our kid's crib is still in the corner of the master bedroom, and it's where we throw the clean clothes out of the dryer. I guess then it serves a purpose. I guess it beats doing that on a treadmill that never got used. You didn't spend a bunch of money on a treadmill that is just a place to throw laundry. Your shop already smells funny. Just turn the man with tusk already. Turn the man with tusk already. See, like, just fucking use your words properly, dude. I know you're not dumb. 'Tis I, Sir Bobbert. It absolutely is. It is Caduck Bobbert, vintage and mechanical. I don't think anyone's knighted you though. I don't believe that we have declared you to be Sir Bobbert. Okay? You can't just like go around calling yourself Sir Bobbert. Like nobody has like slapped a sword on your shoulders. Okay? Or maybe no, they haven't. I was gonna say maybe they have, but no. Come on. Oh, what's the line? Dude, watery tart threw a sword at him. It's not a good. No, you can't just go around calling yourself a king because some watery tart throws a sword at you. Something like that. Except that's not. We're talking about knighthood. Spags had a guy ask on his live what his shop smells like. His answer was my farts. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I mean, my farts and sawdust and stale beer in the bottom of cans that haven't gotten taken back. Depends how long I've let the air get stagnant, which isn't usually very long because I usually leave that fan running pretty good. But I would say the 3 dominant smells in my shop are stale beer, farts, and sawdust. You can get a lord's title from Scotland and be a sir. It's true. You could purchase yourself a sir, I suppose. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. King of the Who? The Britons. You would never. We're all Britons. Wait. Oh, I need to watch that again. That was a good show. Lancez la vache. Beer. I didn't vote for you. You don't vote for King. She turned me into a newt. I got better. What else? What else floats on my very small rocks? Wood. Yes. So she weighs the same as a duck. She's a witch. Good movie. Those are some funny dudes there at the Monty Python crew. Help, help, I'm being repressed. Bring out your dead. That's what the rest of this show is now. We're just gonna do quotes from Monty Python. Tim's here. That's not what the show is going to be. The show is good. We're going to radius this fretboard. We're going to use a hand plane 2 weeks in a row on the show. What? Do a little bit. Yeah, I don't feel like doing a ton of work, but we'll do a little bit. So finally start getting this turned into this. Let's just do it. Let's just go. Oh. Let's get a little bit of work done on this guy. We're just gonna start making each edge on a little bit of an angle. Let's come up with these little mini bits from in between the frets. They're cute. They're cute little guys. Wait, you don't have a radius block for that? No, I sure don't. I have a radius, this, with its various radii. And I'm just gonna bring it down and then I'll check and see where I'm at. And then keep going. StewMac. Yeah, I've never bought anything from StewMac. I mean, I absolutely should. You're correct about that. But we'll blend those two facets together that we've just created. Ooh. This could use a sharpening. Getting a little bit. I do have to come down a fair ways though, so I'm not that concerned about it at this point. That's about 12 inches of radius on that fretboard right now. Almost exactly, actually. This is nice and consistent down at that end. This end, not so much. That is pretty good. That's a pretty consistent 12. I do want to do probably a compound radius on it. So down at the neck, down at the headstock end of it, I want to radius a little bit more. But 12 is pretty good for back there. And that's really dead on. Wow, by accident, I like dead on nailed a 12-inch radius. So I'm just gonna go a little bit more up here. There we go. Now we're about 10 down at here. A little over 10 there. And go up to 12. And we're just gonna graduate those together. Probably not a great angle for you guys to, whatever. Yeah, that's just under. Yeah, that's pretty close. Nine and a half. Going up to 12. Ten there-ish. Yeah, 10, 10, 9.5, 12. That's where I want to be. in terms of the progression of the radius. That my low angle jack does need to be sharpened because I'm getting a fair bit of. If I might be going against the grain too. I'm never gonna tell in this light, but that's a good place to be. And now I just can consistently work that radius down to the actual height that I want it to be. When I feel like it. It's uneven. Your face is uneven, Stanifer. I have several unused radius blocks. I asked Tyler Peterson a little while ago. I was like, I bet you can make radius blocks on that bad boy CNC. Sanding after planing is really going to smooth it out. That's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to see how bad my tear out was. Matt. Do need to sharpen my low angle jack. But that is the start of a radius on this fretboard that's been waiting for the start of a radius for quite some time. I'll send you my unused radius blocks. There should be a little box in the corner of your shop that's just called like garbage for Mike. And it's just when stuff comes up on this show, you can just be like, bloop, and then, you know, Christmas, my birthday, just like off it goes. What? Explain to me the problem with what I'm doing right there. How? There's no wrong way to, as long as you accomplish what it is you need to accomplish, there's no wrong way to get there. What's wrong with just slowly working it down with a hand plane until it gets to where you want it to be? I mean, granted, I have only done one guitar, but that's how I did it on this one. Or that's how I did it on the one that exists. And it worked just fine. Too physical? Maybe I need that in my life. Maybe this is the only workout I get is hand planing. I used to do that until I had to have carpal tunnel surgery. Yeah, okay, fair enough. It is, yeah, okay. You could edit that part and release a short how to radius a fretboard video. Could, but then people would go there to learn. And there's a rule against that. No, that's a good point. I probably should do like more short snippet type videos during longer projects where it's like, you know, here's how I cut a dovetail. Here's how I radius a fretboard. Here's how I make a mortise and tenon. Here's how I, yeah. There's no, it's not to claim that this is the right way or the wrong way to do anything, but this is how I did it on this particular project. Like for TikTok, yeah, except not stupid. And horizontal, because that's how things should be filmed. Hi, Nelia. You've already got the footage from your lives. Yeah, except I don't know how to go about. I know how to download the whole couple hour long video, and then I could go in and take out the part and whatever. I don't know how to like take out just a piece of a longer form video and then re-edit it into. I was going to do that though as like a year-end thing. I was going to do like a best of the lives and like go through and like clip out all the hilarity. Not all of it, obviously. That's too much. It'd be like a 4-hour show. But like just like my favorite parts from the lives over 2023 and just like clip together just a bunch of nonsense as like my favorite moments from the 2023 live show. But I kind of didn't want to download like, oh, go through these 2 hours of video and clip out this 7 seconds. Well, I did my weekend expense spreadsheets. That sounds riveting. I listened to a video about what makes money by a music lady that has been on YouTube since the beginning. Analyzed all her successful videos. Crazy what made money. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I do. I should. How many Tragically Hip tees do you own? Asking for a friend. I think I probably have more. I think we probably have about the same. I have as many Tragically Hip t-shirts as you have Tool hoodies, my friend. Maybe not. 4? Maybe 4? Isn't that what Pinnell is here for? Yes, this is exactly right. Pinnell is my business advisor. The stupidest videos were her most profitable. Oh yeah, well obviously. Because that's what people want to watch. They want to watch stupid bullshit. My best performing anything video on any platform ever. Okay, that's not true. But my best performing Instagram post of all time was like a 20-second reel of me like scooping up lathe shavings from behind my lathe and putting them in a garbage bag. It was just like, time to do some cleanup, and it was just like scooping, like I had a dustpan and I was just scooping up lathe shavings and putting them in a garbage bag for like 20 seconds. Social media is dumb. He's got like 12 tool ones. We had this conversation at work like not that long ago because I said, how many tool hoodies do you have? And I think we settled on 4 or 5. Talking hoodies specifically. I have one Tragically Hip hoodie and maybe 4 or 5 t-shirts. Who has listened to the entire discography of the Tragically Hip more? Well, you, I guess. Between me and Jason, I would be closer, I think. I'm pretty sure that Jason's never listened to the entire Tragically Hip discography. Maybe he has. It'd be weird. Can't iMovie do that type of edit? Well, yeah, but you have to import the information into iMovie to be able to do the edit. It's not gonna just do it for you. That'd be great. And it like bringing in 2-hour-long videos and then going through it and picking out the bits would be really annoying. If I could figure out a way to just clip out and download that 27 seconds of the video off YouTube, that would be handy. Panel, can you figure out how to do that for me? Used the new lathe to make 2 pens today. I'm glad that you're putting your giant lathe to work. Making pens. It's interesting trying to turn such a tiny item on such a big, yeah, exactly. It's cool though. I'm glad it's getting used. I hope it doesn't only get used for pens. I want to see a giant ass thing come off that. What is it, the 1836? Paul, the trick is to buy a lathe big enough to put the small lathe on the new one. Well, he can't because he traded his small lathe for the big one. Traded the little lathe and the bandsaw, and the little lathe and the little bandsaw for the bigger lathe. Still think you should have got a dead dirt bike or something with that. Should have been 2 things for 2 things. It's bad negotiating. Oh. Start of a radius on this fretboard that this guy's one more step further. Let's start on the neck of this guy this coming week and get making for Christmas market. I gotta make snowmans and gnomes and trees, Christmassy stuff. So that'll sneak up on me if I don't pay attention. That's a month from today. Yeah. It's Christmas market. My one and only Christmas market this year is a month away. Got a 16-inch mesquite stump. Might make a big bowl of turning a stump doesn't sound fun. I mean, it sounds fun, kinda. Could be interesting. Could be. I've never seen what does stump wood look like. It's got to be all wonky and probably cool looking. Sounds like something with rocks in it. That was my first thought too. I was like, man, that's a lot of dirt. I don't know that I want to put my tools into spinning dirt. But Paul sharpens his tools, so. And makes them himself out of Allen keys and stuff. So, what does he care? He'll just make a new set. cut off the roots and wonky stuff. Should have some cool grain patterns. Yeah, that was my thought too. Like if it's clean, not dirt, there'd be some cool stuff in a root ball. Not really a root ball, but like, you know what I mean. I made my tools myself, so if I break them, new one all the way. See, exactly, that's what I just said. I would just prefer not to break my tools so that I could avoid having to make a new one. By the way, speaking of making tools, only one of you assholes on Patreon has actually purchased one of the limited edition. I know there was at least 4 of you that said you were gonna. Thank you, Matt, for following through. Beer. Only 4 more days. Only 4 more days that they are exclusive to patrons. So I always said I wasn't buying. I wasn't talking to you. The people who I'm talking to know who they are. So I'm following. You are also following through. But didn't we agree that if I still have any in April, you'll buy one out of pity? That seems. I seem to remember something along those lines. Send you an invoice for one. Sean, I should just send you one. Like, you sent me a table saw sled, my friend. You should just get one. Did I say I was buying one? I want to know if I'm not following through. Yes. You did say that. I think actually, Paul, you were going to send pics to Eric Habakabaka so that he could get your Patreon advance. I don't know. Doesn't matter. They'll all sell or they won't. If they don't all sell, then I don't make a 2024 edition of the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff marking knife. And these become even more limited. No, that's not how limited edition works at all. Could be the only limited edition Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff marking knife. Because if I don't sell them all, I'm not making a 2024. Because that would be stupid. That would be dumber than making the first one. That would be dumber than making the calendars. Making a thing that you're pretty sure isn't going to sell based on historical results. First, we just finished a 72-hour week here. You guys work too much. That's all. That's all. That is too much. That is putting in too much time for somebody else. Unless a bunch of those hours were for you. That is putting in too much time to make somebody else money. When can I order a 2024 calendar? I almost used up the 2023. I'll let you know. Maybe there's a place that I could do like a made to order. Like a print on demand. You could order it. I'll just shift the pictures around so that January's picture is actually June's picture from the year before. And the dates are all right. And you can order the, yeah. Well, I'll get my friend Pinnell to look into that. Whether there's a place that I can do that. I've had 2 weeks since April where I wasn't in overtime after the guy in Indianapolis and Louisville quit. Fucking slacker. I drove 1,450 miles this week. Listened to 6+ Shannon's Lumber Industry. That's a good use of time. That dude is smart. And that's an education. Six of Shannon's podcasts gets you some good learning. Walmart, and you can have it printed at your local store and you can pick it up. Okay. Can there be like a we'll do one month will be like a Borat swimsuit. Like I think that should happen. Down on the beach in the winter. Like I'll go take that picture like the first snowfall that we get this winter. I'll go down on the beach and set up the selfie stick and put a timer on it, and I'll in the Borat swimsuit. Well, I'll look into that for you. Send it to the Walmart printer. It does sound fun. It does sound fun. And I appreciate the support. Oh. One step closer on another guitar. Got to get 2 of them done by the end of the year to win that resolution. Anybody remember what the other resolutions were that I still need to accomplish? Refurb an old tool, 2 stringed instruments. Are those the only 2 I actually remember? I have to go back and watch that video and see how much I'm falling down on the resolutions this year. The shop stool was not on the list. You cannot trick me. I would never have done such a ridiculous thing. Might have been lighting. The lighting might have been on the list. And I can't. Now that I've decided to do the whole refurb of the shop, instead of just tacking new lights up, I have the lights. I could fulfill the resolution by just tacking the lights up on the ceiling. Then I got to pull them down when I do the shop refurb and put them back up. Wiring the shop? No, that was last year, and I did that. For sure, a shop stool that you turn into a plant stand. It's not going to be a plant stand, okay? It's going to be an end table, a side table, ambition again. The gears started going. What if it's a fancy cabinet on stand and that's the stand for the cabinet on stand? And I designed a cabinet to go on top of the lifted No, don't, because then it's just going to sit there for fucking ever again. Just make it into something and put it in the house. It's like, oh yeah, no, let's build like a 6-drawer chest to put on top of it. Are you ever going to refurb the shop, though? Who can tell what the future holds? Dick? Side table that you set a plant on. Maybe. An occasional table. What's we've had discussions like this before too about the difference between a credenza and a buffet and a sideboard. What's an occasional table? Isn't it a table that you just pull out occasionally to use? Would make sense. So maybe it could be an occasional table that serves as a corner table, but then it gets pulled out for like TV dinners or something. I don't know. Eric Habakabaka. Oh, he wants number 6. Number 7? Number 7. Number 6 is Matt. Matt Sherburne gets number 6. Eric Habakabaka wants number 7. Hold on. And it's back here somewhere. There we go. Number 7. I got them all in an envelope. Eric is claiming number 7 on his Paul Waldrop Patreon benefit. Send me an email at woodenthingsandstuff@gmail.com with a place that I can PayPal invoice you. And then what I'll do is I'll hit you with an invoice for the North American rate. And if it, depending on how much more than that it is, I will, I'll send you another invoice for the difference in the shipping, which might be another 10, 15 bucks or something like that. But thanks, Eric. I appreciate that, my friend. That is total of 4 sold of the 9. We're almost halfway there, peeps. Almost halfway there. We're almost halfway to a 2024 edition. It's a bad idea, Mike. Don't do it. Only 9 people. Even if you manage to sell all 9 of them, only 9 people wanted them. I gotta say, I don't. But there are, in some ways, I prefer the Cocobolo ones. The 2 that are Cocobolo. These are way, like, they're way cooler looking. But the Cocobolo ones are like, sort of more of a classy kind of. Yep. Other end, I guess. Hey, Coca-Cola. The Coca-Colas are just like, it's a different kind of sexy knife as opposed to like the busyness and vibrance of this guy versus the simplicity and can I make a left-handed version? I did. Number 4 and 9 are lefties. The left-handed versions would just have the logo on the other side, I guess. Because the logo is on the side facing the audience. And if you were left-handed, the audience would be over there. I guess. I don't know. Mike, I just sent 100 7x3x3. What? Stabilized spalted hackberry blanks to a guy. I have one of those. I have half of one of those. Thought about you saying it while I was filling out the order. What you say? Spalted hackberry. This is the double dyed stabilized hackberry artisan boutique handcrafted. I have a straight, like half of a bottle stopper blank still, I think, out of just straight spalted hackberry, not dyed or anything. We made the half of it on the show one night, and my buddy Mark came over after the show and just bought it. He was like, "That's mine now." Sent 100 7x3x3 stabilized spalted hackberry blanks to a guy. What did that run him? If you don't mind telling us what that guy paid for that. 7x3x3 by 100? Shit, dude, is that like a couple grand worth of wood? Let me see, 7x3x3. That's got to be a $50 blank or more times 100. It's thousands of dollars. I'm not a math guy. $1,800. There you go. That sounds like not enough money, my friend. It's $18 a blank. That's not enough money. I should not talk though, because most of mine I get for free. So I should just shut up. That guy get $18 a blank. It's still not enough money. I would pay you more than that for those. I wouldn't buy 100 of them though. Beer. Oh, you know what? Maybe bourbon. Who's having a bourbon with me? Tim? What are you having, my friend? I kind of just want to have another beer, but if people are having a bourbon, I'll have a bourbon with you because I did get some. I'll have a cigarette while we figure it out. You know what? I'll have a beer and a cigarette while we figure out if I'm having a bourbon. Natty's having a bourbon? Yeah, I bet she is. To Australia, the ship was sending to Australia? Those stabilized things? All right, Tim's having a bourbon. Hey, the boss is here. Oh yeah. No, she really enjoys this show. She's going to become my biggest fan on the YouTube. She pays me a lot more than you guys. Not for this, but just in general. Breaking open my Smoke Wagon bourbon. Got for your birthday. Sweet. You wouldn't multiply all the dimensions. 700 by 3 by 3 is the total width. We're not talking about millimeters. It's not 700. 7 inches by 3 by 3. It's about the size of this thing. Hold on. I can go get a piece that's about that size from right up here. Except I don't know where my ladder is. There it is. Except I can't get close enough to where I need to go. Okay, I'm going to turn you guys over here. Just somebody call. If everything goes horribly wrong here, somebody call somebody, please. No. It's about like half of this. Maybe a little less than half of it. Whoa! I caught you. It's about 3 by 3. So it would be about like that size chunk of wood times 100. Oh, if you had all 100 in a row, it would be 700 inches long, 3 by 3. Yeah, okay, never mind. Separate conversations. That's a nice piece of wood. Nice piece of like spalty maple. Maybe I'll make a couple of Christmas trees out of that. Almost $400 for shipping. Yeah, I imagine it would not be super light. Spalted stabilized hackberry at that much. Yeah. 100 of those is still a big, yes, exactly. That's why I said I'd pay them more than $18 each for those, but I ain't buying 100 of them. Are you still going through that spalted hackberry? You still got a chunk of that log left? 700 by 300 by 300 inches of wood would be, yeah, that's thank you for the random calculation of board feet on a ridiculous amount of wood. What's 700 by 3 by 3? So how much per board foot did he charge for the spalted hackberry? Now that we're doing the math, how much per board foot did he charge for those blanks? 3 by 3 by 7 is 21 times 3. It's like almost a board foot in each of those. No, there isn't. Is there? Seven by 3. $21 times 3 is 63. That's not quite a half a board foot. It's 18. It's like $40. $40 a board foot. $40 a board foot for stabilized hackberry. That's pretty good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. I'm coming around. I think you both win in that situation. It's a good deal for him. It's a good deal for you. 41-14. I was close. These guys in their spreadsheets. I just did it all up here. Just 3. It was an estimate though. Each blank is 5.5 board feet. No. No, it isn't. No, 7 by 3 by 3 is not 5.25 board feet. Board feet's a stupid measurement anyway. Speaking of Shannon's lumber industry update, did you listen to that one where he was talking about like we need to stop using board feet because it's dumb? Coming from a guy like in the lumber industry who like makes his living selling board feet of lumber. Shannon's great. Shannon is a good dude. If you guys don't know Shannon Rogers, he is a really good, genuine, down-to-earth hand tool guy who works in the lumber industry, and he's very smart, and he's a good researcher, and .525. Yeah, it's okay. It's about a half a board foot. Yeah. Getting tired of stabilizing stuff, but it's paying for the shop bills. Yeah, sure. It's the same with like when I got to crush out the Wacka pens I don't like doing it, but it produces money. It is dumb, but it works better for selling in bulk versus by the piece, especially if the weight is involved. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, they don't sell like they don't. You guys don't sell by the board foot to construction companies. Like when Broad Street or whoever the shit comes and says like we're building an apartment complex. They don't buy 4,200 board feet of 2x4s. They come in and they buy a lift of 2x4s or like 7,000. Well, they don't because they have their own company, but you know what I mean. We do when it comes to pricing? Really? You don't for the general customer though. Like if I come in and I buy a 2x4, it's by the stick. If I need a 2x10 or even by a beam, like if I need an 8x8 Douglas fir beam that's 12 feet long, that's by the stick. You guys don't charge by the. It's sold by the piece. 294 pieces per lift, sold at X per thou. So it's still a volumetric measurement, I guess, but it's not a board foot per 1,000 cubic feet. I guess the cubic foot is a board foot. No, a cubic foot is not a board foot. A cubic foot is 12 board feet. This is interesting. We have somebody in the chat room right now that deals in large quantities of volumetric sales of wood. When you say per thou, what does that mean? Per thousand what? Per thou. If a board is fancy like bird's eye maple, why wouldn't you pay for the board? Yeah. And that's how most places when it's fancy wood, they do. But they still do it by the board foot though, generally. Here, anyway. Like you pay $22 a board foot for fancy exotic wood from the back of the store or whatever, as opposed to this board costs you $87 or $198 or whatever, and then you have to figure out whether or not it's worth it. Sell custom cut lumber by using calculations in board footage where you are correct. Regular lumber 2x4 is the birch sold by the piece. Custom cut lumber. So if I okay, so a 12 by 12 beam of Douglas fir, 12 feet long. What's the price of a? I'm building a timber frame cottage, and I need 12 by 12 beams of Douglas fir. Am I buying those X numbers per beam, or is that by the cubic whatever? A better example, a messed up board you got to cut around and don't get that many usable pieces. Generally, the way that we buy those is because they're not rated as high in their grading. They're cheaper per board foot, and you still have to pay for all the shit you're not going to use, but it's cheaper per board foot to buy it. So like I go to the walnut shorts stack, and it's the ones with all of the knots and defects and sapwood and all that shit, and you just like you pick through it. You're still paying, these days you're still probably paying $18 a board foot for it, but you have to pick through and find the ones that you like and recognize that you have to cut around all of the stuff. But it's less per board foot than the good stuff, which you don't have to worry about. We have a per piece price for that. If you want a slab cut out of it, we price it by the board foot. Okay, that's interesting. So if I just want a third of that beam, you charge me, instead of a third of the per unit, you charge me per board foot. It's interesting. If I want 4 feet of a 12-inch by 12-inch beam of Douglas fir, I get charged by the board foot instead of a third the price of the actual item. That's why I bought a big load of Douglas fir at Home Depot. Hold on. 2 by 12, making a big lathe bench, and it's cost effective. Yeah, this guy right here is Douglas. My workbench that I work on all the time, that you guys see all the time in all the videos and stuff, is a Douglas fir and cherry workbench from my boy Mike Bennett at Windsor Mill Sales. The Douglas fir, anyway. He didn't give me. He did. I didn't get the cherry from him, but I got the Douglas fir from him. And the legs, the 4x4 posts, were all 4x4, and not like nominal 4x4 either, like actual full cut 4x4 Douglas fir. The price per piece is dictated by the board foot price. So just why don't they just use one system then? If it's the same, then what is it? See, now that's dumb too, because if it's the same, is it only because some people understand board feet and some people don't? So you have 2 different pricing structures based on what people understand. Because if it's the same amount, I don't really understand. Like if I can buy a half of a 12-foot 12 by 12 beam for the same price, but it's considered to be sold by the board foot, but it's the same amount, I don't really get that. The popularity of white oak is interesting too. Yeah, it was last episode or 2 episodes ago of Shannon's podcast where he was talking about how nobody wants Quartersawn white oak anymore. It's rift that, yeah, like rifts on white oak is what people want, and that's causing a shortage of quartersawn and flat sawn red oak because they're not bothered cutting it anymore. Be right back. Amazon delivery at the door. So Paul's new sprayer, his finishing sprayer, is at the door, getting delivered at 9 o'clock at night in Texas. By a lump of Play-Doh. Doesn't matter what shape it's cut into. I understand, but when you've got a rate that's like a 12 by 12 is this much money, X feet long, you're going to pay half that price for half that much, but we're going to do the calculation instead of just cutting it in half. We're going to do it by the board foot instead. Doesn't make sense to me. Even if it, like, especially if it ends up being the same amount. Now you have to find somebody to buy that back half of that 12 by 12B. Should be selling it for more money if I have to cut it in half, because now we have to find somebody to buy that other half. Hell, I'll take all the quarter sawn white oak if nobody wants it. Yeah, I've got a piece still from the circular tabletop coffee table that I made. I still have one of the center pieces of that. It's cool looking. It's very busy. I can understand why, like, industry, like flooring, I would never want like a whole room floored with quarter sawn white oak. That just way too much going on. It's way too busy. So I guess I get where people are coming from in terms of wanting to source rift sawn white oak, because it is nice and hard, does make a beautiful floor, but it doesn't have all that crazy Rayfleck. Board foot is how you calculate the volume of the wood to give it its quantity of value. Yes. So you guys don't, that's how you guys calculate how much you charge per piece, but it's not how you calculate how much people are paying for it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we bought this. This is the volumetric amount of wood here in this bundle. We're going to buy it for X number of dollars because cubic foot, board foot, or whatever, but it's broken down by piece to sell to everybody else. Yes? Yes. Okay. Two different systems, but not for the same purpose. You have a different system for purchasing your wood than you do for selling your wood, which makes sense. I guess. It's another calculation you guys have to do, but it's not something that people have to worry about when they come there. It's starting to come together, because I was like, why would you charge by the board foot for a half a piece? That's when you charge not by the board foot for a full piece. That's dumb. You tell Chris that that's fucking stupid. But it makes sense. You guys buy volumetric when it comes in, but then it gets divided by 1,047 pieces on that volumetric lift. We put them in the computer at $8.68 each. Does somebody have to count then when you guys get a whack of wood that's dropped off and you paid $3 a board foot for it? Does somebody have to go out and count how many sticks of wood are in that so that you guys can price them at $7 a stick or whatever? Because that job sucks. Whoever's job that is. How many sticks of wood are on that lift, Brian? Go count how many 2x4s came in. Depends who they're selling to. Yeah, bulk. Yeah, obviously. But I don't get that deal. If I want to buy 100 board feet, I pay the same price as if I'm buying 6. I guess once it gets to a certain point. Yeah, we also play with the pricing, so we have to know what it's worth in board footage. Shortcuts to just tack a dollar value on. Yeah. So you get rounding errors and stuff. Yeah, I get it. It's all starting to come together, but for a while the explanation was like, why would you charge by the board foot for a stick of wood that you're charging X number of dollars for if they cut it down? That doesn't make sense. Yeah. But I still don't think you're buying by the board foot. I think you're probably buying by the cubic foot, which is 12 board feet. It doesn't matter. It all works out to the same thing. No, you're not buying by the cubic foot. Buying by the board foot. By the thousands of board foot. It's weird. Shannon and Macaridge discussing how people make money selling wood. Yeah. And that was a good show too, when Shannon did a whole show on like the downstream, like what it takes to actually harvest a concession and proper forest management processes and stuff. Yeah. But just, I mean, try to tell somebody that that's why their dog feeder is going to cost them $180, because the cherry concession in Pennsylvania, let's sit down and we'll have a discussion about where lumber comes from. Yeah. That's not a thing that most people are going to be really receptive to. They're going to go, what? Why does it cost that much money? And you go, well, let's talk about board feet. And we talk about silvicultural practices up in New England for a little bit, and shipping costs and trucking and freight rates and the price of gas and and that's why your dog feeder costs $180. Got a guy selling me black walnut board, 8 foot by 2 inch by 8 inches for $90 a board. It's good. Is it dry? Or do you have to store it for a year to put it to use? Because if it's dry, that's actually really good. Unfortunately, as bad as that sounds, a $90 stick of wood sounds like a lot of money, but it is dry. Well, there you go. There you go. You can make you can make a batch of those thin line Telecasters. That's good. That's going to be a pretty guitar. I'm going to do a Tele one of these days. Maybe next year. Just bought 5 body blanks out of that. It's $10.60 a board foot. Yeah, that's good. Even in American dollars, that's good for here. We're at clear walnut, like not the shorts bullshit. You have to cut around all the knots and sap and all that shit. We're probably $18 to $22 a board foot Canadian. Probably 26 for like actually clear 2x walnut. This piece of walnut right here, for example. This piece of walnut right here, this is a 8/4. At this point, it's 26, 28 by 12, maybe not quite. It's 11 by 28. 11 by 28, 8/4 board of walnut. Probably $100. Probably, yeah. Walnut at the lumberyard is $22.50. What's that piece of wood right there that I just showed? 11 by 28 by 2. In terms of board foot. It's like, let's say it's 4, 5, 4, it's over 4 board feet, but not by a ton. I think it's probably $100 piece of wood. Canadian. I think I paid $160 for the board that board came out of. And it was probably twice as long, but that was also 3, 4 years ago. I would imagine right now I would probably not be paying, I almost guarantee I would not be paying less than $100 for that board. Paid $12.99 a board foot for walnut a few days ago, but I only bought 2.4. The shorts crap pile, like where you gotta pick through and find the ones that aren't completely garbage so that you can get a decent amount of usable wood. I think right now are about $15 a board foot here for 4/4, maybe 4 to 6 foot long boards, anywhere from 4 to 6 inches long, with a whole whack of shit that you need to cut out. It probably more like $18 a board foot for that stuff. I'm glad that I have a stockpile. It's not as big a stockpile as I would like. I used to pay $10 a board foot for that stuff. And I would buy a stick every time I went in. $20, $30, $20, $27, $32, whatever. I would just start building it up. But I haven't been able to do that since it's gone up to $15, $16. Guy's working on some swamp ash and mahogany for me right now. Sweet. All right, later, Eric. Like I said, send me an email with a mailing address and an email that I can bill for that marking knife, and we'll get it off to you. Yeah, cool. Then no hurry. You currently have reserved marking knife number 7. Hello, I am late because my wife and I manage a traveling teen church choir. You don't need to explain yourself why you're late or apologize for doing said thing. I'm going to close my garage door, though, because it's starting to get a wee bit nippy outside. It is the time of year where I have my oil heater thing going on over here. It's in terrible shape, but it puts out a little bit of warmth. It's about time you showed up, Bailey. Yeah, we were all talking earlier about how disgraceful it was. that you had not shown up on time. There's also been talk about whether or not I'm going to go get a guitar because my phone was fully charged before the show, and I may or may not want to do that. Maybe we'll do another 4-hour show with a Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff concert. I don't know. Maybe go have a bourbon, though. I did get a bottle of bourbon to have a nip with people. When we built a house in the Philippines, my wife was upset because they were making the doors out of mahogany. She said in the Philippines it's cheap wood. Well, I mean, mahogany is a big umbrella. There are mahogany-esque trees in the Philippines that grow like weeds. Meranti is generally referred to as Philippine mahogany. And they make pallets and shit out of it because it's just the garbage wood down there. And it is in the Meliaceae family, which means it is a mahogany tree. In fact, the dice box that Matt is buying off me is mostly made out of Meranti, which is in the Meliaceae family and grows in the Philippines. And other places, but my girlfriend and her daughter just left to go to a farm field to watch the aurora and the meteor shower. Sweet. Yeah, science is rad. I want to go lay in a field and watch a meteor shower. That'd be cool. Oh, completely unrelated, but just came to mind, so I have to ask. Paul Waldrop, and if Tyler was here, I would ask him as well. I have lost my Tune-o-matic bridge post template. I made a template for installing a Tune-o-matic bridge and tailpiece when I made my first guitar, and I have lost it, and I don't want to go through all of the hassle of figuring that shit out again. Who will sell me a Tune-o-matic bridge install template for my drill bits to put them in the right place based on a center line? Does Potvin have one of those? I don't think so. Very, very specific question. I apologize for that. But if anybody wants to do a little bit of research for me, maybe my friend Pinnell, my assistant, like where to find a Tune-o-matic bridge drilling template. It's like basically picture this is the one that I have for a humbucker pickup. It's got the center line of the thing, and that's where you put your routing. I need one for drilling posts for a Tune-o-matic bridge. StewMac, Can it be somewhere else though? Because it feels like they're gonna charge me $740 for that, and I'll just go through the process of of just creating my own again if I have to pay StewMac prices for it. Tune-matic, yeah, yeah, I like that though. Tune-matic, I like that. That's cooler, actually. And I made a good one when I made my first guitar. I was like, these are the perfect proportions of where these need to go, and the bridge was slightly angled back like it needs to be, and everything. And I'm really quite disappointed that I don't know where that template is now. But it's getting close to the point where I start needing to drill posts and when he held up the acrylic guide, I knew I didn't hear it right. That's my humbucker pickup. I need one for Tune-matic bridge posts. And I do not want to pay StewMac prices for it. I've never even. I shouldn't say I've never gone and looked, but it's. We all know that these specialty tool companies charge more than they should for their things, but more power to them. Go capitalism or whatever. But there's got to be somebody that's gonna give me a Tune-matic post template for cheaper than StewMac will. It's nonsense. I'm gonna deal with that this week. This too, probably. This is getting. Maybe this week I'll get all cleaned up. And Paul's gonna be like, I've got one, I'll put it in the box. Why don't you sell gnomes, trees, and snowmen at the art gallery with your pens? Well, I will. After I make a bunch of them. They're seasonal things, so yeah, I will. I just have to make a bunch. There's a few sticks of maple, 8-quarter maple square tube. I've got a class coming up on making snowmen, and then I'm gonna make a bunch for the market and the store over the next couple of weeks. It's just they don't sell for the rest of the year, so there's a small window of time when that's an opportunity for you. Rockler charged you 2.4 board foot for 9. Is that not 1.6? They round it up on thickness. Yeah, it depends on if it's S4S or S2S or raw or rough sawn. If they're trying to sell you 3/4 inch wood as rough sawn wood, then they charged you too much. If they're charging you 3/4 inch price and charging it as though it's a 4/4 board because it's been surfaced on both sides already, then they're probably closer to right than you are. What was the state of the faces of that board when they gave it to you. If it's been thrown through a planer, then they're charging you what it used to be before they put it through the planer, which means they're probably selling you a 3/4 inch board as a 4/4 board, and that's why your calculation is off. Doesn't Rockler just sell S4S? I don't know. It says 13/16. Okay. What are your calipers say? I mean, I don't want to say don't buy wood from a place like that, but maybe don't buy wood from a place like that. If you have a planer, especially if you have a jointer and a planer, but if you have a planer, go further up the line and buy rough sawn wood that you can then control the dimensions of yourself, and you're buying full. Like when I buy 4/4 lumber, sometimes it's 1 1.8 inches. And I can process it to whatever, but I'm paying ×1 per board foot. But as soon as it goes through a planer, they charge you what it used to be, plus processing, right? Wasn't too concerned, just like not knowing what's going on. Yeah, so you're being charged for what the wood went into the processing system as. So if it's 3/4 of an inch thick, but it's been surfaced on both sides, they're charging you for 1 inch thick material. And you're paying for sawdust. But it's less work you have to put in on the other side. Go listen to Shannon's Lumber Industry Update. He's got a lot of really good shows explaining like why things aren't as big a ripoff as you think they are, but sometimes they are, and you should watch out for these things. Yeah, I'd buy dimensional lumber, rough sawn to my specs, and then take it. Yeah, I would love to buy everything completely rough sawn. It's just sometimes that's not an option. I can't buy a rough sawn piece of zebra wood because they can't sell a rough sawn piece of zebra wood at the store because nobody's going to know what's under there. I mean, not nobody, but like most people aren't going to know what that looks like unless they fire it through a planer first. So now you're starting to pay for sawdust, you're starting to get a thinner board. But it helps them sell it. Just wanted to snag a piece for a project. Yeah. We've got my only place to buy like exotics sells S2S. But it's just skipped. It's just skipped like there are rough areas on it still. It's basically just like show face type stuff. And it costs me more that way, and it's a little bit thinner that way, but it's kind of like a good midway point. And the local store is doing 20% off until the end of the year on all their hardwoods, which almost makes it worth going there to buy. Probably still worth going to the next town down. But maybe just for one stick once in a while, I could pop in there and pay like an actual human being price and not feel like I'm just getting completely hosed. Because 20% off is about where they should be living all the time. Have had to rotate the cutters on your planer yet? Yes. The answer to the question, the way it was phrased, yes, I have had to rotate the cutters on your planer. Yet. No, I have not done it. So I guess I should. I am at the point where I should. There are a couple of nicks that are leaving a couple of grooves, and I should rotate the cutters. I'm at, what was the, have I had to? No, I changed my answer. The answer is actually no. I haven't had to rotate the cutters on my planer. They are at the point where I should be doing that. Say the jointer. I still haven't turned the cutters on my jointer yet either. They are past due, and I should do that. But I have not. And I still use it. It's not like I don't use it because I need to change the cutters. I still use it, and I just deal with the fact that there's a little ridge. Does that actually answer the question? I don't know. Thinking about upgrading and curious about how long they last. Well, they're gonna last. They're gonna last as long as you let them. You don't hit any nails and not like less knots and things that you hit. But I will never go back to straight knives for any tool that has an option for a segmented head, whether it's helical or spiral or shear cut or straight cut or whatever. If it's got little mini bits that you can turn to a new face, I never go back to a straight knife anything. And I'm still putting wood through my planer even though it's got a little nick in one of the cutters. Still putting wood over my jointer even though it's got a couple of nicks in a couple of the cutters. And the jointer is 2.5 years in. The planer is over a year. And obviously we know that I don't do a ton of woodworking. I'm not pumping a whole lot of wood through these things, but they last a whole lot longer when each one of them is only this big and you can just turn them. Anyone else wonder what the heck Matt Esley is doing? No. He had a new shop video half a year ago and then nothing. Matt Esley. Seems like a good dude. And he's on his own journey, the same as the rest of us are. But he has a lot of balls in the air. He's trying to balance a YouTube educational teaching situation with, I believe he's still employed by the local technical school as a woodworking instructor. He had, by my understanding, he had a long-term romantic relationship end not that long ago, and he's got numerous channels where he tries to do different things. He has a product line of marking knives and plans and things. He's got a lot of balls in the air, and I understand your sentiment because I wish that we had more information from Matt Esley and more content from him, but I'll never get upset that somebody isn't pumping out as much as I would like them to. He has a Matt Esley 2 channel that has weekly updates. I knew he had a Matt Esley too. I didn't know he had weekly shows over there, but I liked when he was doing live. I don't know that I have ever enjoyed myself more watching a live YouTube show than when he did a show trying to cut a dovetail. He was trying to make a dovetailed box in a Black & Decker Workmate type clamping situation with a crappy saw from the hardware store. Well, his buddy shot him with Nerf bullets. Like that was gold. Like, because he's a serious woodworking instructor, a very, very talented woodworking person, and he's showing how you can do these things with simple everyday tools from the hardware store. But people could pay money. Obviously, it was totally a money grab, but it was just entertaining as shit. And people would give him $2, and his buddy would shoot him with Nerf guns while he was trying to like chop out these dovetails in like a time limit. It was so much fun. Because he never knew when it was coming either. Because he was like trying to be all precision, and he'd get hit in the eyeball with a Nerf bullet. It's great. And his marking knives are better than mine. If you want to spend good money on a marking knife, my marking knives are not as good as his. They're way cheaper. And they're much more limited edition. He makes them by the Hyundai or something. Seems like the kind of dude that another one of those YouTube woodworker guys. Like, there aren't a lot of them, but he seems like one of them that we could hang out at a pub and have some Yorkshire puddings and gravy and some beer and like have a good time with each other, I think. He was working on a van restoration that I think he was planning on moving into. Okay, time for a bourbon. I was gonna go grab another beer, but what kind of bourbon is anybody else having? I know there's a couple of bourbon drinkers here with me. Like I said, it has been a long time. It's been a long time since I've had bourbon. This is the one that I remember enjoying back in the day. Rich, sweet, potent smell compared to, I'm more of a Scotch drinker generally. Smells a lot sweeter. Is very, very sweet. I can see why I like this. This is not disparaging to people who like this, but this is, I can see why I like this when I had a less refined palate. because it's much less complex and sweeter. The sugars really come to the fore. It is good, but it's very, very sweet. Like, it feels like bourbons in general might be sweeter than other whiskeys. Maybe it's from the mash that goes into them that has more sugars. But this is quite intensely sweet, all on its own. Like, I don't know that I would. I would, when I used to drink this back 15 years ago, maybe 20 by now. Um, it would have been a bourbon and Coke, and damn, that could that'll give you diabetes. That's what that'll do. It's still delicious, but it's very, very sweet as opposed to the rich undertone isn't there. It's very front heavy. Bourbon and Pepsi Max? I don't think so. I think maybe a couple of ice cubes. I think at most, if I was gonna add a mix, I think at most it would be like a Sprite or a ginger ale. That's there's a lot of sugar in that, and I like my coffee sweeter than most people like their coffee. I can haul down Coca-Cola Classics like nobody else's business. I like sweet things, but as the alcohol base has a lot of sweet in it, I think I would want to cut it with something less so. Canada Dry, it's a good option. Like I said, like a ginger ale or I think just ice cubes. Maybe a spritz of tonic. If I was going to do it with anything, there's nothing wrong with this just like this. This is a delicious beverage. I absolutely would not. I even bought when I bought that bottle, I bought a bottle of Coke, thinking that I was gonna make a bourbon and Coke. I would never do that. Now that it's been probably 15, like I said, probably 15 years since I've had bourbon. But this is the one I remembered I liked. Is very, very sweet. How sexy is that though? I love it. Might be why I like this particular brand of bourbon. It's because they do like the wax top situation. That's pretty cool. back in my Navy days, I was a rum drinker. I like a good rum as well. I like a good, rich, flavorful, dark rum or spiced rum as well. I like, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but Brugal might be how you pronounce it. It's a Caribbean rum. Sort of an amber rum is really nice. Every now and then, every now and then, some old number 7 and cola hits the spot. Yep. Yep. Jack and Coke, for sure. This is, it's just a little bit, the sugar in it is a little bit potent, and that's coming from somebody who drinks like his coffee sweeter than anybody else he knows, and crushes Coca-Cola Classic like pretty regularly. I would absolutely never put Coca-Cola with. I bought one thinking I was gonna. That would just, it would be syrupy. And Kentucky, ooh, this might come from the Bourbon County, Kentucky. Hold on. Star Hill Farm, Loretto, Kentucky. Under the personal supervision of Rob Samuels. Is this a good bourbon? I don't know enough about bourbon to know like quality levels. When you guys say you're drinking cheap bourbon, like what is that? Oh, there we go. $14.99 for a 750. Okay, that's a lot cheaper than this was. This was about $60 Canadian. So what's that? 45, close to 50, probably American dollars. I don't know that we can get a $14.99 bourbon. It is good. It has lots of rich, flavorful notes, but it's just overpoweringly sweet. It's good though. It's going to go back into the cabinet right now because I'm not going to have 2 of those. Mrs. buys the cheap shit and I buy the good stuff. Okay, what's the good stuff? Is this good stuff? Nobody's told me yet. This is the one I remember liking, but I don't know if I liked it because it was like, ooh, like wax drippy. But the fact that it was like $60, I tend to be somewhat a get what you pay for kind of person. Like, I assume in general, when you pay more, you're getting a higher quality product. It's not always the case. That's pretty good. Maker's Mark has been around and it's kind of the bar. So this is the level by which things are measured. So this would be sort of the middle of the road, and then you can go above or below. Is that what you're saying? Because at least that gives me a play if I wanted to start experimenting with bourbons. Is Jim Beam a bourbon? I think it is. It's always been like seemed pretty sweet. Maybe it's been more recent than I think it is that I've had bourbons. Because, I mean, the Jim Beam that I bought and enjoyed was the vanilla version, which I assume has additives and sweetnesses and things added. But it was good. No, it was Jim Beam Honey was the good. The Jim Beam Honey I enjoyed. But again, very, very sweet on the back end and on the front end, actually. Like myself some Henry McKenna single barrel bourbon. I wish I had a notepad. Henry McKenna. I will try to remember Henry McKenna as something that you guys recognize. So is this not a thing that you guys have or do in terms of bourbons? Because I want to be part of the group. I want to be part of the bourbon group. Like, let's have conversations. Let's all be on the same page about stuff. Henry McKenna. Okay. I'll try to remember Henry McKenna and see what I see next time I'm at the store. I almost got the Woodruff Reserve. Woodruff Reserve. But it was another $10 more or something like that. And this one I remembered the wax top. Keep in mind, these aren't top shelf bourbons. I have no judgment on. Same with cheap scotch, cheap whiskeys. Some of them are better than they should be. Same with beer. Same with everything. Some of them are better than they should be. Some of them aren't. Some of them you pay for premium and you get what you paid for, and some of them you don't. That's good. I will say that that's good. It's just very, very sweet. The sucrose level in that is very high. But it has a fun waxy top. I'm going to put it back in the cupboard. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get a guitar. I'm going to urinate. And we'll see where the show goes. I'm going to put my step ladder away because I don't have to climb up into it anymore. Back in a minute. Whoa. Have I told you guys lately how much I appreciate you? coming to the show and hanging out with me here on the internet. Because I really do. The fact that this is a thing that has happened in my life, sometimes it like absolutely blows me away that I have people who want to come hang out with me in my shop virtually on the internet. I am very, very, very grateful. That my journey into making things in my shop has somehow turned into having friends. Like, whoa, it's the bourbon. Well, maybe it is. Feels like maybe 2 ounces of bourbon aren't enough to be. Wonderwall. No. This is a really good guitar. Have we talked about this guitar before? I think we have. This is the longest serving member of my family. This guitar has been with me longer than anything else in my life. I have not owned anything that I still own longer than this guitar. So anyway, he can barely hold a guitar. I can hold it if my strap gave loose. Okay, shut up. It's my show. I can drop my guitar if I want to drop my guitar. Ovation Guitars, bowl back with the helicopter. This is the guitar that I bought when I finally got to the point in my life where I had enough money to go buy a real guitar, as opposed to like cheap pawn shop garbage guitar or like something that my buddy was selling off for $50 or whatever. And I was like, I have money, let's go to an actual music store and buy an actual guitar. And I walked in and this thing sung to me from across the room. Big wide open space, place called Long and McQuaid. Anybody in Canada knows Long and McQuaid. It's one of Long and McQuaid's biggest stores in Canada. And it just zing from across the room. I was like, what is that? And I went over and I picked it up, and it sat nice in my hands, and it sounded good, and I walked out the door with it. It's my first and I think only, no, my first and only one of two guitars that I've ever bought new from a music store. And it was in about 2003. I think it's maybe a little bit before that. It's been around in my life for at least 20 years. It's the longest serving thing that I still have. Sitting till the evening come, watching the ships roll in, watch them roll away again. Sitting on the dock of the bay, oh, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, oh, wasting time. Heading for Frisco Bay. Live and die for. Looks like nothing's gonna come my way. Sitting on the dock of the bay, oh, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, oh, wasting time. Looks like nothing's gonna change. It's like everything remains the same. Can't do what some people tell me to do. So I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, oh, wasting time. Hey, Vineyard Farmhouse is back. How you doing, Brian? Bought in 2003. When did you inbox it? You screwed up your own joke, idiot. Pinnell screwed up his own joke. So there. Yeah. Beer. Autocorrect screwed it up. You're the one that has autocorrect turned on. You screwed it up. I've never understood autocorrect. Like, why do you have that? Just type out your words. I've never turned on, like, the auto finishing of my words. The auto, like, I can just type my own shit. Thank you very much. I don't need the computer to tell me what it thinks I mean. Just type out your own shit. I've never, stupid old man. Like I've just always just typed out my own shit. Sorry, what's your email? Wooden things and stuff at gmail.com. What the hell was that? I heard like a small animal like in pain or something out front. Ryan at Vineyard Farmhouse, have we figured out when you want me to do the one-on-one interview show? There it was again. What is that noise? Sounds like a weasel getting strangled by a garden hose or something. I don't. Brian does every Wednesday, but I don't know how many shows he's got already lined up. I'm the special one-on-one guest. Better have some show and tell things, and probably not the guitar. Not this guitar. Maybe the guitar that I actually made. I could plug that in and show that it actually plays. Might very well be the first Wednesday of December. Okay. Let me know. You got your schedule. I'm happy to drop into that schedule whenever. Wednesday evening is actually really good for me. Would like to see the guitar you actually made. I'd go get it. Or would it be cooler if you saw it for the first time live on the show when we're talking? No, you've seen it. Didn't you watch the video series? I thought you said you watched the video series. You've seen it. And by the first week of December, I might have another one done. No, I won't. I'm hoping to have them both done by the end of the year to fulfill resolutions, but wouldn't have a special guest the night before Thanksgiving. That night is really slow. Well, like Thanksgiving already happened. Like real Thanksgiving. We already did, like a couple weeks ago. It's a funny joke. It's not for serious. Let's all just I did watch it. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll like on that night when we're doing the talk show thing. I'll try to have some examples of the things that I make, and we'll talk about my journey of making things and YouTube and whatever you want to talk about. Oh, that was borderline. That was like right on the edge. YouTube might get me in trouble. I don't know what tonight's show is, honestly. Like, we radius the fretboard on the new guitar. We started the radius of the fretboard of the new guitar. Talked about some tools and stuff. Made some recommendations on some tools and stuff. Padauk looks so good when it's finished and sanded smooth. I agree. Padauk is a very, very lovely wood. Sibelian Cocobolo too. I clicked follow on the hand plane knob tote guy. I don't know who that is, but I need to make some new totes and knobs for a couple of my hand planes. And Padauk is actually a pretty good option. Actually, it's really, really lustre and cool and self-lubricating, especially on the lathe. Like, cuts so nice. Started a list of woods after listening to Shannon. It's already too long. Yeah. But I love my favorite thing about Shannon is he gives you these points of reference where you can figure out for yourself how a wood is gonna work. Like, you just compare it to something else and look at all these qualities, and then you can figure out based on all of these referential qualities of things you already know how a thing is gonna do. And it's a really good system for figuring out whether something is. Gordon Addison is the knob and tote guy. Send me an email. Gordon Addison or Pinnell. Make a note if Pinnell's still around. I would like to look up Gordon Addison, the knob and tote guy. Because I do need to make new knobs and totes for at least 3 of these things. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Yep, let's close the garage door. Let me go in here. Woody's here, and nobody's here, and nobody cares. I love that this is a thing every week. I do need to take a week off one of these weeks though, and just like take a Saturday off. I thought it was going to be this week. Earlier this week, when I was having my rough day on Monday, Tuesday night, I thought maybe, you know what? You've probably done 50 of these shows in not 50 weeks. You deserve to take a week off. Maybe this should be the week. But I just can't. I can't quit you. You guys make me feel better. Every time I think, like I should step away for a minute, and I realize how important this show is to me. And I very, very much appreciate you guys. And it makes me feel better every time I do it. was the thing. Trade your legs for angel wings. Once we all said goodbye, you take a rolling leap and you learn to fly. My little Sebastian, it's you, Sebastian. My little Sebastian, 5,000 candles in the wind. Oh, it's you all every day. A girl there, heaven's hate. Here's the part we hate the most. Humans cannot ride a ghost. Bye, little Sebastian. It's you in the satisfaction. Bye, little Sebastian. 5,000 candles in the wind. Bye, little Sebastian. It's you in the satisfaction. Bye, little Sebastian. 5,000 candles in the wind. Considering we're going on 3 hours, I think it's important to note that you needed it. I think so too. I think once in a while you guys need this too. I think we can admit that this is a relationship we need. That's healthy. I messaged you the gist of it. Okay. I'll look it up. I do like that the like country musician of the year is a big fat guy with tattoos on his face. I like that. Jelly Belly, or whatever his name is. I'm not a big country music guy, but Jelly Belly with tattoos on his face. I'm normally not a fan of musicians with tattoos on their face, but he's breaking stereotypes and genre bending with at least his look and his attitude. about music. I've never heard any of his things, but I like that guy. I like that guy. Seen Gordon's videos, screwed up over and it sanded over the weird crack break, got frustrated and threw money at it. sometimes throwing money at stuff's okay. Pinel's gonna be like, yeah, I just want to tease him with it because I'm not gonna play it, but I want him to think that I'm gonna. First thing we climb the tree, and maybe then we talk, or sit silently and listen to our thoughts, illusions of someday, cast in the golden light, no dress rehearsal, this is our life. I tilted your brow, you tilted my hand. Rain falls in real time, rain fell through the night, no dress rehearsal, this is our life. We'd smoke them out. You are here by century. 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 Disappointment's getting me down. look forward to it. Whoa. Wednesday nights. Hanging out with friends is an amazing thing. Yeah, that's right. Even friends that you've never met. Friends you don't even know. It doesn't matter. Must be a skin I'm sinking here. Must be for real. 'Cause now I can feel. I didn't mind. It's not my kind. It's not my time. I wonder why. Everything's gone white. Everything's gray. Now you're here. Now you're white. Don't wanna miss. Remember that. Never forget where you're at. Don't let the days go by. Cause the rain. Cause the rain. I'm never alone. I'm alone all the time. Are you would want? Do you rely? Live with where everyone steals when we lie. It's like strawberry fields. Treat you bad. It burns my face. But love you, boy. Got a beautiful taste. Don't let the days go by. Could have been easier on you. Could have changed though I wanted to. Could have been easier by 3. Often feel you and me. Glycerine. Glycerine. Now moon white again. Now moon white again. As she falls around me. One is less, could not guess, just regress. Might just be clearly simple and plain. Well, that's just fine, that's just one of my names. Don't let the days go by. Could have been easier on you, you. Glycerine. 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 What? Wow. Songs without lyric sheets? Two songs without lyric sheets? Two songs without lyric sheets that I got all the way through relatively accurately. When you're sitting back there in your silk-upholstered chair, talking to some rich folks that you know. first verse of that song. Somebody with some song ideas or something? Anybody want to be talking? So I don't feel quite so alone here in the shop. Playing into the ether. Because I don't want to get sad. I'm having a good night. But I need to know you guys are still here with me. Unless you're not still here with me, in which case I should just shut this off and just keep playing by myself in the garage for fun. Play that Barney Bentall song. Okay, first of all, you're the one that wants to play the Barney Bentall song. And you need to give us more information than just that song by Barney Bentall. Do that 5440 song or the Blue Rodeo or whatever. I can find it in the kind of like this feeling. 1 a.m. here. All right. Later, Pernell. You guys do what you got to do. I'm going to keep sitting here until I don't feel like sitting here anymore. I'm not going to break the record of the live show 4 hours and 10 minutes or whatever it was. My drummer's still here, though. What do you want to play, Mike? I know that you're sitting there in your shop, tinkering with your little toy truck. What do you want to play drums for? Because you're going to play the drums on your workbench, and with you got little paint cans and stuff. You're going to be playing drums. What do you want to play? I got the whole book of sheets. This is still going. Yeah, it is. Because I got the stupid guitar. I got the stupid guitar. And yeah, I know. I'm just enjoying myself. And if people aren't, then they can go. Woo is not. Bennett, help me pick a song, my friend. I gotta pick something to play. But hopefully something that's in the book. I could just grab it. We could do random grab bag. And I could just like reach into the binder and pick something out. And then give it a try. Neil Diamond. I probably could. Do a Neil Diamond at some point. I would need to put a little bit of work of research into like just printing something off and being able to follow along. But he's not, like, no offense, he's not that talented in terms of songwriting that I wouldn't be able to just follow along and play something of Neil Diamond's. That's the random thing I grabbed. Let's not play that. Sorry, buddy. I'm on my way out for the bite. I learn how to type, and then you can apologize for that. All right, later, man. I'm never gonna tell anybody that they have to stick around for this. I'll hang out for one more song. Well, then pick what's the one more song that you want to hang out for, Mike? Mikey B is only sticking around for one more song, so I'm gonna let him pick it. But it's got to be in the book. You can pick the last song that you get to hang out for before you go to bed, my friend. It's like I'm such a good person. I'm letting you custom order the last song that you get to hear before you take off. Because you know what's in the book, so that's easy. But I kind of like this feeling. Dead air is not good entertainment, though. So you got to pick something relatively quick. Or else I'm going to pick something, and it'll be terrible. And you won't enjoy it. And that'll be the last thing that you hear before you go to bed. That'd be shitty. Come on. Give me something to play. When I'm done my smoke here, like, let's play something. What do you want to hear, Mike B? Ooh, there's that one that I was about to play a second ago. I'm going to keep that out. I'm going to keep that out for Amy. For the next time she comes up. House of the Rising Sun is not in the book, and you know damn well that it's not in the book. You know what's in the book, my friend. We play them every week. You actually have a list that you put on your drum. There are other ones in the book than those ones, but something from Rush. Rush is so good. Dude, like, we need to dial back the expectations. I would love to play Rush, but I am not that talented, my friend. Hey, Bennett, you got like 30 seconds, or I'm gonna just pick something, and it's gonna be garbage, and that's gonna be the last thing that you hear before you go to bed. Dude, I was a few minutes behind the chat. Oh, scroll to the front. Prince. Oh, Prince. Awesome. I want to learn Purple Rain so bad. I would love to do a cover. Yeah, I think I could absolutely kill a cover of Purple Rain. Like, not right now, but I would love to develop a cover of Purple Rain. What kind? I don't even know the chords. I would love. I should make a note. Make a note. Pinnell. Oh, he's gone. Don't want to go, you. I did pick. Yeah, well, you didn't pick. There was requirements, my friend. Something that's in the book that you know what's in there. It's not that fucking complicated. Okay? Either something that's in the book or something that you know that I'm gonna know. You screwed both of those things up. Play Blistering tonight. That was cool. No rain. All right. It's in the book somewhere, but maybe I can do it without it. But do it with an accent? Okay. No rain, but with an accent. Whoa. What kind of accent? I gotta find it. All I can say is my life is pretty plain. I like watching the petals gather rain. I don't know what accent that is. And all I can do is just pour some tea for two. Spike that point of view. Gotta find it. And fucking lyrics. All the time. All the time with lyrics. Live on the TV. This is a really, really entertaining show. I appreciate you guys bearing with me. Mike wants a song called No Rain with an accent. There it is. Of course, it doesn't have the chords. Sweet. Right on. It's just lyrics, no chords. All I can say is that my life is pretty plain. Like watching photos gather rain. And all I can do is just pour some tea for two. And I don't understand why I sleep all day. And I start to complain that there's no rain. And all I can do is read a book to stay awake. And it rips my life away, but it's a great escape, yeah. That my life is pretty plain. You don't like my point of view, you think that I'm insane. It's not sad, it's not sad, it's not sad, it's not sad. Say to me, oh, be there when you wake. No, I'd like to keep my cheeks dry today. So stay with me and I'll have it made. Have it made. There you go, Mike. There was some accent in there for you on purpose. I'm not great at accents, but I hope you recognize that some of that was accentual. It sounds dirty. Some of that was accentual. Just for you, my friend. Nighty nights. Totally did hear the accent. Accentual and all. He said, my life was pretty plain. We haven't played that for a long time in the garage. We should probably try that one again next week, just to like not get totally out of practice on that, because that's one of our good ones. Later, Mikey. I love that people still hanging out in my garage with me. Still, I need people to be able to keep talking for me to keep hanging out. I can't just keep going out into the void. Just let me know you're still here and that you still care. That's all I need. Well, I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. Hanging on the promises and songs of yesterday. I made up my mind. No more time. So here I go again. Here I go again. No, I keep searching for an answer. I never seem to find looking for. Lord, forgot me, strength to carry on. I know what it means. Walk along this lonely street of dreams. Here I go again on my own. Who I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. Made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. Just another heart in need of rescue. Charity. Gonna home to the rest of my days. 'Cause I know what it means. Walk along this lonely street of dreams. Here I go again on my home, going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. And I made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. But here I go again. Here I go again. Made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. 'Cause here I go again on my home, going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. I made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. Here I go again. Here I go again. Here I go again. Because why wouldn't we just bust out some Whitesnake? Oh, there are a lot of people in this world that are missing out on like a pretty cool show. I'm totally biased, but it feels like there are a lot of people missing out on like how cool this show is. Well, I see him on the TV preaching about the promised land. Tell me to believe in Jesus, steals the money from my hand. Some say he was a good man, but Lord, I think he said. Mental tears, cried suicidal Vietnam vet. I was born for the show to fight his country and want him back. Bullet took his best friend to Saigon, his lawyers took his wife's kids, no regrets. Time I don't remember, in a war he don't forget. God forgive me for I've done that, never meant the things I did. Give me something to believe in, Lord above. hotel room. Got the call last Christmas Eve and they told me the news. Cried all night not to break down and cry. Well, the tears streamed down my face. Felt so cold and empty, like a lost child out of place. Mirror, mirror on the walls, smile and fades again. Give me something to believe in. Lord above, give me something to believe in. Sometimes I wish that God didn't know now. Things did know that. Come on, take me home. Drive by the homeless sleeping on the cold dark street, bodies in an open grave. Underneath the broken old neon sign, I used to read Jesus Saves. A mile of wheelers and rich folk, and I see like living it all. Well, the poor they eat from hand to mouth, friends drinking from the golden cup. Just makes me wonder, so many lose, so few win. And give me something to believe in. Oh, give me something to believe in. Sometimes I wish to God I didn't know now. Things I did know then. Give me something to believe in. Give me something to believe in. Give me something to believe in. Sure. Sure. Why not? I'm gonna just keep playing. We may or may not have another record long show tonight because I'm just gonna keep sitting here and keep playing and keep having beer. I fully charged my phone before the show. Slip inside the eye of your mind. Matt's still here. Atta guy. Atta guy. Thanks for hanging out. Those kind of songs make me want to just keep playing like out the Moscow. down to Cookie Pie. Like the old binders of tunes. Come on. Whoa. That strap button is not good, or the strap is starting to let loose from that button. I used to work on the dock. He had been on strike, down on his luck still. Pay for love. He says we gotta. See, this is why I need cheats and stuff. There are 5 of you here. I appreciate every single one of you. Even if some of you just left this on and then left the room, I appreciate you just the same. I think I'm going to wrap it up, though, because I am starting to lose dexterity in my fingers. Probably the bourbon. Personal Jesus covered by Gravity Kills. I don't know Personal Jesus. Sounds like a cool name for a song, though. Tucked the dogs into bed 15 minutes ago, otherwise they were listening to. Well, give them their own accounts so I can get like a couple more views on this shit. No, it's good. All right, bye, Eric. Thanks for coming, my friend. I appreciate it. When I say I appreciate it, like I really, really mean it. You guys are my favorite time of the week. Being here on the internet, hanging out in my shop with you guys is my favorite time of the week every week. Depeche Mode song covered by Johnny Cash before. Yeah, sweet. Okay, I'm gonna look into that. Personal Jesus? Is that the name of it? Depeche Mode. Johnny Cash. I'm gonna check that out. Johnny Cash is a good judge of what a good song is. Because Johnny Cash doing Hurt from Nine Inch Nails is also one of the best songs that's ever been done. If Johnny Cash likes your song enough to do a cover of it, that's a good song. Okay, we'll shut this one down just shy of 4 hours. Thanks, everybody. And for those few of you who are still watching this after the fact, once it's up on the internet, thank you also so much for sticking with me. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. I appreciate you so much. We'll see you again next week, probably, but I do at some point need to take a week off from this just for my own. Or do I? I don't know. Because, like I said, every time I think about taking a week off, I'm like, no, but I love, like, it feeds me. These guys give me more than I would get from not being here. So we'll see. Bye for now. Next week, maybe there'll be some more work done on the guitars. Maybe we'll do some more work on one of the guitars. Bye for now. I love that we get to hang out on the internet together. I do. As much as I old man shake my fist at cloud about the changing world and technologies and stuff, the fact that this exists like really, really makes me happy.